Good afternoon. My name is Alexandre and my teammate is Bruno, and we are the affirmative team of the debate of people rely too much on technology. Imagine living without technology. Would you be able? The answer is no. You and the entire world isn't able to do that. Everything we do involves technology, so yes, we completely rely on technology. First, we need to understand what is technology. It comes from the Greek word technologia, where techno means art and skills, and logia means logic. Technology is the use of science or a method to do or create something. Now we can understand how we rely on technology. We all know that food is essential. And the population grew a lot. Consequently, the number of consumers raised. To supply the raised demand of food, our production raised a lot. And the technology was the most important thing to cause that. From the most primitive technology, such as a plow, to the most evolved ones, like transgenics, tractors, and other machines. We produce 4 billion tons of food per year to supply the necessities of the 7 billion people. Without the technology that we use these days, it is estimated that we would be able just to produce 100 million tons of food, a lot less of how much we need. The Malthus theory believed that the lack of food would be the end of human race, and it had been proven true until the 19th century, when the technology had an incredible advance, and finally the production raised a lot faster than the population. And the technology was the cause of it. Without technology, Malthus would be correct, and we wouldn't be able to produce the amount of food necessary for population. This is why technology is so important.
Thank you for your words, Alexandre. Good afternoon. I want to thank them for the time they're spending here with us. First of all, I want to establish a definition of technology. Technology is everything digital that makes our life easier. I chose this definition because otherwise it would be impossible to debate about this thing. The proposition is people rely too much on technology, and I disagree with it. There are many examples of it. The technological devices make our day-to-day life easier, and we are not denying it is important. We need a source of that data you said to us, of the quantity of food produced. I didn't see a source. It could be made up. We are able to do almost everything technology enables us to do, but it takes us longer without it. Technology is only giving us options to the way we realize everything. There is an alternative to what technology does for us. Examples of that are paper money and digital money. Digital money moves a big industry, but paper money is what we use every day in the day-to-day life. Other examples of that are books and pencils, the main source of learning in school. And past generations didn't have the technology we have today.
Thank you for your rebuttal and your argument, Mr. Yu. But I disagree in some points. The font of the data Alexandre said is the UN website. You can check it online anytime you want. Also, you said that we can learn with books and pencils, and we don't really need technology to do it, but we can see in evolved countries and in first world schools that the use of technology is much more frequent, and we think this makes a huge factor in the formation and education of our little poor kids. Imagine yourself without any use of any kind of technology for 1 week. or even less for one whole day. No internet, no machines, no computers, no cell phones, no satellites. Nobody can imagine this without feeling some sort of anxiety. We need it for our lives. Transportation, economy, researches, entertainment, survival. It is our privilege to be rational animals. So why would we not use this in our field? Technology started at the moment the Homo habilis created the first stone tools. 2.6 million years ago, in the Paleolithic age. Now, take some time to think how much we have evolved since then. I can communicate with someone on the other side of the world just now if I want to. I can go to outer space. There are no boundaries, there are no limits. Technology saved the humankind. Before it, we were in danger. The animals around us are much stronger than us, and they have no mercy. There would be no hope for humankind. With technology, we could have the pleasure to see geniuses such as Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Galileo Galilei, William Shakespeare, Nikola Tesla, Eduardo Duarte, and so much more. Our dependence in technology is crucial. It helps with the formation and education of our little kids. It helps with the treatment of diseases, protection of endangered wild species, human relationships, and so on. We can't deny this. Technology is everywhere, and there is a reason for this. It has improved humankind life and made it easier since its beginning.
I would like to thank you for your arguments, and I believe most of what you said is true. But those geniuses you told us about, they are the ones who developed technology. Nikola Tesla, Stephen Hawking, they are responsible for the technology we have today. They had nothing to work. They created it.
There is no function in any technology if the user doesn't know how to use it. It doesn't matter the type of technology, it be smartphones or computer. They are not useful if the one using doesn't know how to use it. Technological devices are much more complicated than paper and pen. It is much harder to record something using a computer than a pen and a piece of paper. Therefore, with the increase of technology, it becomes much harder to use a device. In other words, there are so many buttons that we don't know which one to use it. So we end up paying for something that we don't use. According to the Brazilian Department of Education, DEC, teachers in Brazil are getting courses to learn how to use digital devices. This means that even now, the great majority of students were learning by writing notebooks, not by using computers. Technology made it easier to study, but everyone was able to study even without it. In addition, the Brazilian Department of Education also stated that only a few teachers are being educated because using tablets and computers are really expensive. This means that using a pen and a piece of paper is better in terms of education and money.
Thank you, Gustavo, for your statement. I think that is a really good point, but I have to disagree with you in some aspects. You said that it is easier to write with a pen and paper and to record something than with a computer. This is actually not true. It depends on the person if they think that writing is easier or typing is easier. There's no science comproving it. Also, it is simpler to use technology than to Google something or to use the internet to then go to the library or and search 10 books and even don't find it. Also, with the advance of technology, it gets easier every time. So as the time passes, more people are using it and more people are getting their lives in relation with technology.
Thank you, Hugo and Gustavo, for expressing your arguments and your opinion. But we saw how technology is present in all areas of our life and how we rely on it. We didn't say that it is a good thing to rely on technology, but it is the reality. Before I end, think if you could live without technology. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Alexandre, Bruno, Gustavo. As we said before, technology is important, but we do not rely on it that much. This has been a great way to see from other perspectives this theme. I would like to thank everyone for the time.